Welcome back, once again adventurers, to Let's Play Chaos Child. In the last episode, Takuru woke up in Frisia, the Frisia headquarters, where Hinai, Momose, and Mio were there with him while he slept. But, well, despite his temporary safety, Takuru was still understandably overwhelmed by the grief that he felt with the revelation that it was none other than Serika Inoue who had taken the life of Nono Kurusu. And in spite of the protests of the other three, Takuru ran out into Shibuya against his better judgment because he is still wanted as a person of interest, which in reality he's been framed for the entirety of the second new generation crimes, including the murders of Yui Tanabachi and Kurusu herself. And then if that weren't enough, Takuru found himself in the alleyway where poor Yui was murdered by Shinji Ito when he was being mind-controlled, or dare I even say possessed. It's probably a better term for it, but either way, well, the expected happened, and a couple of people came along, and they recognized Takuru from the fact that his photo had been circulated all throughout the internet. And then they proceeded to beat the living shit out of him until, lo and behold, who should arrive but Gen with a chariot and a white horse, and, well, actually, none of that happened, but, well, that is to say, Gen didn't actually ride in on a white horse, but he did come in to save the day, or at the very least, Takuru. And together the two returned to Takuru's RV trailer here in Miyashita Park. So many similar sounding names. But, yeah. Yeah, it is now nighttime. And we still have no idea of what our next move should be. But, well, that's why we're sitting here drinking liquor, drinking a toast to the memory of Nono Kurusu. I never did make it back to Aoba Dorm, but at least Yuki is still taking care of everyone. Well, unfortunately Sakuma is still missing, and that hurts. Gen's friends had told me that the police were watching it, and it was impossible to even get close. Well, I just have to trust that Uki can take care of Yuto, because someone has to. I tried to go anyway, but Gen took a gulp of liquor and said this to stop me.
たくよ、今逮捕されちまったらお前の負けっつもんだぜ。
A drunk Gen may be, but even drunks can have moments of wisdom from time to time. Yeah, he is right, you know. And we cannot afford to lose.
それこそおめえを待ってる嬢ちゃんたちがビービー泣くんじゃねえのか？あ？
Lose. lose. And then I remembered what I'd been thinking the last time I was in this room. It was like the killer was a player in a game, challenging me. That player was, though I still couldn't believe it, my childhood friend. I kept losing to every move she'd made, and she'd stolen the people I'd cared about. Well, we're gonna have to find a counterattack somehow. What if I'd been able to win the game? This whole nightmare. It never would have happened, right?
ゲンさん、悪い。手伝ってほしいことあるんだ。
いいぜ。ただし、世を雇うには金がかかる。つけにしとくからよ。全部終わったらちゃんと払えよ。
Oh, we will, Gen. We will pay you in full when all is said and done. Gen gulped down the last of the alcohol from his cup. I went with Gen and a few of his friends to a certain condo in Daikanayama, deliberately choosing the routes with the least amount of people. We passed by police officers several times, but because of Gen and the others, no one suspected me.
あそこがそうなのかい？
中に入る時だけちょっと手伝ってほしい。あとは僕だけでやれる。
Yeah. We're here at, supposedly, Serika's apartment. Hopefully we can, there might yet be a clue that the police have overlooked. It's not much hope, but it's all we have.
わかった。さっさと済ませちまいな。
This was Serika's house. It was where I was heading the night I'd lost Kurusu. I come here a few times, though not often. When I just left Aoba Dawn and gone to Miyashita Park, I didn't know how to get food or do my laundry, and Serika had helped me out. I'd used her shower and sometimes even stayed the night. Of course, nothing happened between us. That was when she was pretending. I looked up and saw that all the lights were off. There was no sign of any police or detectives. Of course there won't be. Yeah. Okay, let's go. I took Gen inside and left the others behind. I went to Serika's room and used my power to open all the locks. I'd taken Gen with me because I couldn't reboot my power on its own. Gen's eyes had gone white when he'd seen the door open, but all he said was, guess I must be drinking too much. Well, to be fair, that's exactly why we brought you along.
ありがとう。もう帰ってくれて大丈夫だよ。
じゃあ、気ぃつけてやりな。
Yeah, that was the easy part. Gen patted me on the back and left. Once I'd watched him go, I went inside. I tried to sense if someone else was in the room before I turned the lights on. Unfortunately, that power is not yours. There was no one there, including Serika, fortunately. Once I was sure I was alone, I turned on the switch. It was a normal room. If anything, it was a little more grown up than you'd expect from a teenage girl. The room wasn't especially messy, completely opposite of Rigo Hyder's apartment, that's for sure. Shinjo and the others had supposedly come here once, but they hadn't ransacked the place in their search.
どこへ行ったんだ、尾上。
Mimose had said they'd found nothing here to indicate where Serika had gone. Maybe we might find something? It's a very forlorn hope. I come here because I wanted to know what Serika was really after. But what was I supposed to do now? And when I did find Serika, what would I do then? We've already come this far. Ask questions? If I did, what kind of answers would satisfy me? What kind of answers would be good enough?
満足なんか、納得なんか。
That was impossible. But we do need the truth, that much is certain. I turned on Serika's computer, without even being sure what I should be looking for. Well, it works. I opened each file I could find and looked inside.
やっぱり何もない。
Yeah, that would be far too obvious. None of the files were important, just like Mimose had said. There was a folder marked Newspaper Club that was filled with information about the case, but was all stuff I'd already seen at school. That's right. What about the drawers? I pulled open one of them. It's the 11th Rorschach. In other words, the one who has been putting up the infamous sumo stickers was in fact Serika herself. Which means that my hypothesis that she wasn't affected by the sumo stickers like everyone else was is probably correct. I flinched back when I saw what was inside. Sumo stickers. And not just one or two. There were tons, and all of them were the real 11th Rorschach.
なんでここに。
Oh, we already know the answer. I barely managed to look away before my vision dimmed and I passed out. When the stickers disappeared from my field of vision, I forced myself to take control before the horrible delusions overcame me. Sweat beaded down my forehead. Yeah, definitely dodged a bullet there. I quickly tried to shut the drawer, but then I heard a metallic sound inside. There's something else in there, besides the stickers. I rummaged through the drawer with my hand, taking care not to look at the stickers. I touched something hard and flat. I pulled it out and quickly slammed the drawer shut. Let's see what it is. Let us see our prize.
なんだこれ。 僕の。
Yep, it's Takuru's phone. Serika must have gone back to the hospital and taken it, after Uki put it back. Or maybe she didn't have to. Maybe Serika had taken it as they were running away. It was my phone. And not the new one I was using now. It was the one I dropped at AH Tokyo General Hospital and never found after that. She took it. I fearfully turned it on. And I saw the picture I'd set as my wallpaper. Ah, so that explains how she was able to show this photo to Ito. Apologies, adventurers. I've just come back from a very lengthy dinner. Where were we? Ah, yes. The photograph of Takuru, Yuto, Yui, Kurusu, and Sakuma. Yeah. Yeah, the photo wasn't hacked. It was here the whole time. And to think, if Takuru hadn't thought to cancel his phone's account, then Serika could have just phoned Ito using this phone instead of having him phone himself with a fake app. But either way, that ruse worked, I guess. Unfortunately, no. Looking at this photograph only brings back the pain. The terrifying pain. For Yui and Kurusu are gone. The photo I'd taken with everyone. Only two exist in the whole world. One is on Takuru's phone, and the other was on Kurusu's phone.
両手を壁につけろ。ゆっくりだ。
Looks like we weren't so cautious as we thought. The apartment was under surveillance. God damn it. Suddenly the door opened and I heard the click of a cocking gun behind me. I almost turned around, but a low voice told me to stop.
おかしな真似はするな。言う通りにするんだ。
Well, we appear to be in a bit of a pickle. This house is under surveillance, then the man behind us is a police officer. And he's armed. Clearly he's armed. But, there was something familiar about that voice. Oddly familiar. Oh no, that was definitely a cop. Was I going to be arrested here? Is it a good cop or bad cop? Place your bets now. If I was, that would be the end of everything. We won't be able to help anyone. I wouldn't be able to escape no matter what excuses I tried to make.
ユド、ウキ、 僕はもう家には帰れそうにない。
Either way, I don't think we can ever go back to Aobadorme ever again. You're a gigalomaniac. If you use your power, you can escape easily, a tempting voice said from somewhere in my mind. Well, a tempting voice in my mind says, we won't have to do that. But if I ran, that would mean I was the killer. If it ever went to trial, it would look bad. That it would.
だったらさ、殺しちゃえば OK だよ、タク。今なら目撃者もいないしね。
Ah. That tempting voice has a name. God damn it. I heard a voice I recognized in my head. Was I hallucinating from exhaustion? No, that hallucination is not yours. Or was she using telepathy?
貴様、こんなところで一体何を。
The man I thought was a police officer suddenly sounded surprised.
宮代くんか。
Yeah, I thought I recognized that voice. If your bet was good cop, you win a prize. There isn't any prize. I was just lying. My apologies. It was only then that I realized who it was. I twisted my upper body to look who was behind me. At who was behind me.
Shinjo-san.
Yep, we lucked out, Takuru. Fortune smiles.
やっぱり宮代くんじゃないか。
In the flesh, Takeshi Shinjo.
Shinjo-san.
Well, looks like our shining ray of hope has actually finally arrived. I almost collapsed from relief. Shinjo put his gun away inside as he walked over to me.
まったく君はいつも。
Yeah, we always end up meeting like this, don't we?
心配かけるんじゃない。
He made a fist and bopped me on the head.
百瀬さんから連絡を受けたときはどうしようかと思ったぞ。今までどこに。
He stared at my face.
どうしたその傷。
これは。
I explained what had happened this afternoon.
そうか。
Yeah, we kinda got a bit beat up. Shinjo sighed again.
自分が置かれてる状況くらい把握してるだろ。うかつに外に出るんじゃない。
True, but we needed to be here. And if only we'd thought to come here sooner.
それでここには何をしに来たんだ。
Same as you, I guess. Looking for clues. After a long enough pause that Shinjo started to get suspicious, I answered him honestly.
わかりません。
何？
探すつもりでした。あいつを。でも、探してどうしたいのか、だんだんわからなくなって。
Indeed. Or what'd she do to us when we finally meet face to face again? Why had Serika done this? Was she really responsible for everything else that had happened too? If she said yes, would I believe her? If she said yes, what would I do?
僕は何をしたいんでしょうね、新庄さん。
I don't think that's a question he can answer, Takuru.
これを渡しておく。
Shinjo took something out of his suit pocket and handed it to me. It might be useful.
申し訳ないが、中は改めさせてもらった。何が手がかりになるかわからなかったから。青葉寮を捜索していた時に出てきたんだ。本来君たちだけが読むべきものだった。警察の他の連中には読まれていないが、すまない。
Ah. I think I know what it is. It's a letter from Kurusu. Shinjo bowed his head a little. Well, we now have it. On the front of the envelope was written, "To my beloved family." And on the back, the name, Nono.
Nono.
Indeed. I opened the envelope and there were several sheets of paper inside. They were covered with rows of neatly handwritten words.
大切な家族へ。
大切な家族へ。もしもの時のためにこれを書いていきます。今までありがとう。私の部屋に残っているものは好きに使ってください。家具はできれば次に家族になる人のため処分しないでくれると嬉しいです。父さんへ。病院の仕事を手伝えなくなってごめんなさい。やりかけていた事務の書類は診察室の引き出しの中に入れておきました。借りていたままの医学書は私の部屋の本棚に置いてあります。そういえば私が看護師になりたいって相談した時、父さんは一言「ああそうか」としか言いませんでしたね。あの時は反対されてるのかなってちょっとしょげたりもしたけど、父さん、私の進路志望なんてとうの昔に知っていたんですってね。私と患者さんが話してるのを聞いた？それともなんとなく分かってたのかな。きっかけはタクルのリハビリの手伝いをしていた時に 父さんに言われた言葉。独学なのにやるじゃないか、なかなかだぞ、という一言でした。きっと父親というのはそういうものなんでしょう。父さんが作った家のルール、私は好きでした。ありがとう。くれぐれも飲みすぎには注意してください。ゆうとウキへ。大変な時なのにこんなことになってしまってごめんね。ゆいのことは言い訳のしようもありません。止めることができなかった私の責任です。ゆうと、口うるさいお姉ちゃんでごめんね。今になって思うとちょっと厳しすぎたかなと思っています。あなたは男の子なんだからもっと自由にやりたかったでしょうね。ウキ、家族にとって一緒にいた時間の長さなんて私は関係ないと思っています。大切なのは目の前でどれだけ泣いたり怒ったりしたか、どれだけみっともないところを見せ合ってどれだけ気持ちを積み重ねることができたかだと思います。あなたはタクルの妹でユウトのお姉さんで父さんの娘。女の子一人じゃ大変だと思うけどよろしくお願いね。そしてタクルへ。あなたと約束したのに破ってしまってごめんなさい。結局私はいけない姉でした。これがどんな結果になるかわかりません。いえ、たとえどんな結果になったとしてもきっとあなたは納得できないでしょう。でももし私に何かあったとしても絶対に復讐しようなんて思わないで。今回のこと間違いなくあの子が関係しているからあなたは理由が気になるでしょう。でもそれを探ろうとしないで。とにかく危険なことはしないで。できることならもう能力のことは忘れてほしい。学校でもっと友達を作って彼女も見つけてその子のために素敵な男の子になりなさい。あなたがいつもバカにしているようなどうでもいい話でもしながら楽しいデートをしなさい。あなたが時間の無駄だと思っているようなどうでもいい遊びを友達と一緒にしなさい。だって文化祭の準備をしているあなたは楽しそうに見えたもの。家でユイやユウとの話に付き合っているあなたもね。 私、あなたが他の人と自分は違うって口癖のように言うたびに、なぜそこまで意地になるんだろうっていつも不思議に思ってた。確かにあなたには他の人にない力がある。他の人が言う普通とは家庭環境だって違うかもしれない。でもだからといってムキになって自分を孤独の中へ閉じ込めるのはどうかなって思う。私にはあなたがたくさんの人の中に埋もれてしまうのを怖がっているように見えた。埋もれてしまう程度の自分だと思いたくない。そんな風に怯えているように見えた。でも私はそうは思わない。私の中であなたは埋もれたりしない。たとえあなたがみんなと同じように遊んだりしていても。だって私の大事な家族だから。あ、でも髪は染めてほしくないな。タクルには絶対に似合わないと思うし。これは余談。最後にタクルにずっと聞いてほしかった大切なこと、ここに書き残そうと思ったけれどダメでした。許してください。いつかどこかでそれを知ったとき、あなたはきっと私のことを軽蔑し、そして嫌うでしょう。でもどうか私がタクルのことを思う心だけは疑わないでください。私はあなたのことが好きです。この気持ちだけは嘘じゃないと信じてもらえるなら、それだけで私は幸せです。そろそろ行かなきゃいけない時間になりました。勝手なことしてごめんね、タクル。もう一度言うけれど、復讐なんて絶対に考えないで、危険なことはしないで。何もかも忘れて、他の人と同じ日常を、だけど埋もれないように強くしっかりと過ごしていってください。できることならこの手紙が読まれるようなことになりませんように。2015年11月3日、ノノ。
Yeah, I didn't want to speak throughout that letter. I thought, well, the ambience speaks for itself. But as poignant as that letter was, I'm sorry to have to break your heart in the afterlife, Nono Kurusu. But we can't keep either of those promises. at the footnote of that letter. Your prayer has gone unanswered, for we have already read it, since Shinjo gave it to us. And second, though Takuru might, there is one promise that he will keep. He won't think about revenge. Not for you or Yui, even though Yuto asked him to get revenge for Yui. That is one promise that he will keep, that he won't do so. However, the promise to stay away from all this, to ignore this, to go on with a normal life, with an ordinary life, Takuru cannot keep that promise. And even if he could, Serika would just tear it all down in a heartbeat, like before. But that is going to bring an end to this episode of Let's Play Chaos Child. And when we return, adventurers, there is only one thing left to do, and that is move forward. As always, adventurers, until next we meet.